of things that I didn't even think about.
So I just want to share this story really quick since we're talking about this, because I have a student that I worked with who came to me wanting to make changes in her life, and she came to one of my meditation workshops. And so we were working one-on-one, and this was maybe 3 months ago. It was before I traveled in Europe. So yeah, it had to have been about 3 months ago. And I talked to her this past weekend, and she's lost 12 pounds.
See?
But it's not just meditation. I mean, she's changed the way that the way she eats.
Right.
She does yoga 2 or 3 times a week. She's not doing, crazy workout classes. She's getting movement. She's adding movement into her work day. She's doing all of these things now.
It's a lifestyle
the weight
change.
Meditation helped trigger some of that.
See?
Yeah, it's so interesting. She has an amazing story. I hope to have her on the show.
Oh, that would be great.
Because those won't be the results for everybody, but that just goes to show that when we constantly put ourselves into stress, if we think we're doing all of the right things physically and we're not shedding the weight, the stress that we're still putting ourselves in when we're releasing those stress hormones are doing something inside. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's inflaming our body and holding that weight.
And along with starving ourselves, our bodies hold on to that fat because they think, well, we better store this because it's going to come time where she's not eating again. And then so it stores fat, and then when you start eating regularly again, more fat gets added to more fat, and so it's a vicious circle. So it really is, it has to come from inside, and it has to come from educating yourself, and it does come down to burning more calories than you eat physiologically speaking. But if you don't have that mindset, or you go home from doing a really good workout and you eat a pizza, you're kidding yourself. And so you have to have that.
Put down the phone. I see you're ordering a pizza.
and that candy bar, too, isn't doing you any good. So
well, and the mindfulness, I think, is the choices. When you're all of a sudden mindful of the why. What is your why?
I thought you were going to say the wine. I was going to say, don't be pointing fingers.
I'm not pointing any fingers at anyone. No, the why. You should work out. You should eat healthy. Why? Why am I doing this?
Exactly.
Why do I want to go back there? Why do I want to make this choice on my plate? Why do I want to get up and get off my chair? Why do I want to turn off the TV? The whys are all in your mind.
Why don't I want to go to the gym longer than 6 weeks for my New Year's resolution?
Right.
Like, what is that really bringing up for you to make you
all
do that?
Internal. That's not I should.
And that's why you need a coach.
Why do I need a coach?
You need a coach to help you figure all those things out. Yes. And that's one of the things on here. So there were 42 things that led to self-help. 42 things. To me, that seemed like a lot. I would have said maybe 30.
What do you mean? That are subcategories?
Yes.
Of self? Okay,
yes.
Got it.
And there are some of them I don't totally agree with, but this was a pretty good article, so I thought maybe we could talk about these things.
Their self-improvement could be narrowing things down.
Right, yes. Be more poignant. Okay. So growth, I thought, was really important. And when I think growth, one of the first things that come into my head is to read more. Or take a class. Because you are kind of expanding your horizons by doing that.
I think of do something new. Do something different.
That's later. But right now we're talking about reading a book.
Okay. I thought it was growth. Sorry.
Growth, it is. So,
back it up.
So
read a book every day. Books are concentrated sources of wisdom. Now, but that doesn't mean that reading a Danielle Steele, although that's good for relaxing, that's not going to help you grow.
So it's growth in just our knowledge base?
Yes.
Okay.
So it could be like if you were into exercise, it could be what exercise does to your body so that you could impart that to other people. If you're into meditation, it could be why people should meditate. Or it could be on something totally different.
I hate to be contrary. Yeah, I think even a Danielle Steele book. What if it was great? Pete, my husband reads a lot. I will admit, he is very well read. I don't read a lot because of the vision thing, but then he will share, and he takes notes. At the end of a book, he has this page of words, and just a week ago, we stood out on the dock watching a big freighter go by, looking up words on Google.
See, that's fun to
as
me.
a dictionary.
I love doing that, yeah.
What's this word mean? But we'd play with the root word. Where do you suppose that comes from? And it was almost like date night on the dock with vocabulary. How dorky is that?
DDV.
I love that.
But
this is relationship advice under your self-help category.
Write that down on your chalkboards, everybody.
But the idea that any book, if you go a little deeper, maybe it's even just simply vocabulary, expand your knowledge.
Okay.
But then some of the books he's reading are about, Edison or Tesla. Something
Edison,
about
amazing,
people
yes.
and the founders of the country. So it could be even that. But yeah, I agree. Books can just be an amazing tool to.
Well, not even just books nowadays, with just the amount of internet or the amount of information that's on the internet.
Right.
I mean, people are listening to podcasts, and you just click Google and you can find anything. I mean,
anything. Look at YouTube, for goodness sake.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing the stuff you can learn on YouTube. It's amazing. So, in other words, learn something.
So learn.
Okay. Read a book. Learn a new language.
Ooh, I love that.
That's a good one.
Do you speak another language?
When I was in Europe, I learned Italian because I took 4 years of Latin in high school. But it really helped. But now I can't. And I wanted to take Italian at a local restaurant here, was offering an Italian class, and there weren't enough people signed up, so I didn't take it. I'm hoping to talk her into doing it again this year. How about you?
I'm French as far as my ancestry goes, very French, and so I had some audio tapes, and at one point I could say, would you like to have lunch with me in French, but voulez-vous avec moi manger, something like that.
I like it.
It sounds very sexy, doesn't it? But it's something along the lines of, would you like to have lunch with me? But that's all I remember.
In my hotel room.
Hyatt.
And the only thing I can remember from Latin is Maria now Tom we dead.
I still have all my Latin books, and
Mary
that's how
sees
I
the sailor.
Dissect words.
Latin was a really good class
my
to
Latin
take.
Classes.
I did too. I loved it.
Is Latin an option still?
No.
Okay.
No, but it was a really good class. It helped me through college. It still helps me.
I had a client a number of months ago that they have a big boat, and they were on the boat for about a month, and they came back, and I said, are you glad to be on terra firma? This is a grown woman. And she said, what? Terra firma? What is that? Oh my God, solid ground.
And look at how much Latin is used for, like, lawyers use it. There's a lot of Latin around. Latin dancing. I'm just kidding, different Latin. Do you speak another language, Libby?
I speak Spanish. Yeah. So, and I would say after I just got back from traveling for 8 months around the world, and I have just such a strong interest now in expanding my library of languages, and I found it so fun to just go to other places and try to figure out what they're saying, especially Greek. Greek has like a completely different alphabet.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's, but I just love hearing people say it. And, the one thing that I learned is this. So many other countries we're fortunate that we speak English as our first language, right? But in so many other countries, people are at least dual lingual.
Right.
Can speak 3 languages, especially in Europe. I mean, they're learning English at a young age, and then, just with, how many different languages are spoken in Europe, most of them can speak 3. And I just find that so fascinating. I didn't learn a language until I was in high school.
I know. We don't. It's sad, isn't it? When you're young is when you should be learning it.
Absolutely.
Because that's when your brain comprehends it better.
Oh, yeah. I have a friend who lives down in Panama, and her kids are 5 and 3, already understand Spanish and English. So,
Yep.
I don't know if it's egocentric on the United States behalf to think we only need one foreign language?
Well, you know what, though? In defense of the United States, we have several dialects of English that we have to understand.
Yes,
I mean, we have East Coast English. We have Midwest English. We have
millennial English.
We have millennial. We have
even just the word
Southern English. Right. Yeah. Yes. And look at how different. I mean, there's times when I'm traveling, when I used to travel more, that I would not understand what people on the East Coast were saying. I did not understand what
That's true of a lot of countries, because when you hear learn high school French, it won't be the same when you travel to the country or Canada.
That's right.
Well, yeah, and so I learned Spanish, and then when I studied abroad in Spain, it's a completely different dialect.
Yeah, because it's conversational there. It's, it is totally different. And in Mexico, holy moly, it's totally different again. And the way that they put the accents and everything is different.
And how do you translate that?
Even the words that they use, holy moly, I think that goes all above all languages people understand.
I bet you could say that in Spanish or out in Spain.
I can say it in Italian. Holy mole. That's Italian. That's what I said. I can say it in Italian. But mole is Spanish, so.
Correct. It's a sauce.
It is.
Oh, yes, it is.
With chocolate. Okay. With chocolate in it. Tomatoes and chocolate. Mole. Yes.
All right.
Yep. And when I was in California, I spoke a lot of Spanish. I mean, we had to.
And a lot of signs are translated in Spanish nowadays,
that's
too.
Right.
Yeah. In Chicago, too. I just moved back from Chicago, and in Chicago, it's getting much more prominent. Yeah,
Isn't
you're on
that
the subways
interesting?
and on the buses and the ads and trying to target different demographics, but yeah.
Huh. Well, that's good. Everybody should be able to read a sign. Here's another one. Pick up a new hobby. Beyond just your usual favorites, is there something new you can pick up? Any new sport you can learn. Examples are fencing, golf, rock climbing, football, canoeing, or ice skating. Your new hobby can also be a recreational hobby, like pottery, Italian cooking, dancing, wine appreciation. There you go. Wine appreciation.
That's an old hobby.
But you can take classes.
Be a sommelier.
Yes, there you go.
Extend that hobby.
Web design. That's a stressful hobby.
I know.
Learning something new requires you to stretch yourself in different aspects, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally.
Maybe a lot of this is the concept of your comfort zone.
Yeah, that's true, yes.
Get out of your comfort zone.
That's very true.
Draw that circle of what you're comfortable with and get out of that circle.
Right. Take
Crochet.
one giant step and then another one.
Well, the question I think that is like, why are we so scared to do that?
Yeah.
Why are we conditioned?
Fear of the unknown. We're scared of the dark. That would be a part of self-improvement.
Mm-hmm. No, totally. And growth. You know, we have to, it sounds like at least the categories that we've talked about so far, like I think I'm obviously coming back to mindfulness so much, and one of the things that I teach is how mindfulness helps us break what at the Chopra Center we're taught is called the software of the soul. Some people refer to it as the habit loop, like breaking old habits and old conditioning and really getting out of our comfort zone to do things that are more nurturing for ourselves. And basically taking a moment to step back and reflect on that. So new hobbies, I feel like for me, like I all of a sudden have a desire to go horseback riding.
Oh, I love horseback riding.
It's really fun. Liking horses, but if anybody has a horse out there and wants to offer me free lessons, let me know.
It's really fun. One of my on my bucket list is to ride a horse on a beach.
Oh. Sounds very romantic.
Yeah.
It does, but
you have a beach. Now you just need to find a horse.
the horse, yes. I do have. I should
Save
get
the horse, ride the cowboy.
I should get one of those ones. I should get one of those horses that are made out of a broomstick.
Horses.
We'll videotape it. Look, I did my.
I would love to see that on the beach.
I'm going to have to do it now.
Can you do that on a Facebook Live for all of us to see?
I would like I'll have to have somebody on a dolly riding beside me, though.
I'll come with you.
Okay, thank you. So that's too funny, isn't it? Take up a new course. So I think that's fun. You that does a lot of things. If you take a class somewhere, and we have a bunch of different opportunities around here to take classes and things like an exercise, a fitness class you could take. You could take something at Delta College, the adult program at SVSU.
Saginaw Valley
There's so many opportunities.
City Market has classes.
That's right, City Market. See, right there, right here in your own backyard. And everybody has
classes
that.
On Saturdays. Unofficial plug.
Right. Oh, that's right. We have classes. That's right. On Saturdays. Yeah, so check those out. And, you